has been a shooting there, an apparent, what sounds to us to be some kind of shootout between someone and police. Two police officers were hit. We do not know their conditions. We know they were taken to the hospital. We do have one person at the scene who is dead. We don't know anything about that person or really anything about what's going on with this so far.
Hey guys, joining us is Danny Martinez from the desk. He just talked to a worker at a nearby location who heard the shots.
So yeah,
Danny, what can you tell us?
Well, individual we spoke to this morning, she was saying that they heard the shots rang out, and they know that somebody has died. They can see multiple police agencies out there or heavy police presence. Our media is out there as well. They have the area quadrant off, so no one's getting in or out of the area. And she did say it was pretty chaotic when they heard the shots ring out.
So you said she saw.
They heard. They were
heard.
inside the restaurant when they heard all the shooting and all the commotion. And then all of a sudden, within a matter of minutes, a lot of police activity presence.
And you spoke a little bit earlier with someone from headquarters, a police officer, the PIO, Public Information
Yes,
Office, with the police department. What exactly did they tell you?
Basic preliminary, they have an officer down call. Multiple officers were involved in the shooting. Couldn't give me many details, but they do have one that was transported, priority one, meaning very serious, and one decedent on location, as well as the fire department. The fire department spokesperson also confirmed that they had one person, two people transported. One was transported prior to ambulance, and the other one was transported priority one to a local hospital, and one person was deceased on location.
Two officers were taken to the hospital, not a police officer and a citizen. We have two police officers that were taken to the hospital.
One was taken without ambulance, possibly in a vehicle in a squad car. But that's not.
And that's what preliminary. That's what the chief tweeted out as well. He said two officers transported, one person deceased at the scene. And there you can see from this shot, there is Chief McManus, who just arrived at the scene. He is being briefed right now. You see him looking, getting into a police unit, and of course our team is standing by to speak to him.
Now, Danny, in your conversation with the Public Information Office with San Antonio Police, did they give you any indication? Do they have any idea what this is about? How this
What
happened?
the call initially came out as?
No, not at all, because they were getting information as I was talking to him. He was saying, what I have is just the basic fundamental information, which is preliminary. No specifics as to how it happened, when it happened, what took place, what transpired, none of that. We've also reached out to a trans guy, and we're seeing that a lot of police presence is out there, so they're also closing off part of the road so the officers can then continue their investigation in this shooting.
The trans guide cameras, do they have a view of this? Do we know?
They do have a view. However, due to the nature of the incident, they don't want to show it to the public because they don't know.
They can see the person on the ground then.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Yes,
so we can confirm one person, as the chief told us, one person is dead. That appears to be non-police officer. We don't know who that person is. Does not appear to be a San Antonio police officer on the ground.
And from that trans guide photo, I'm seeing Sarah Duran is providing us with that image. There's about 15 police units there on scene. We have two firefighter trucks on scene, and we also have EMS still on scene, but we know one person was transported, so it's still very, very active.
Very active, and one of the things that we on the desk look for is information as far as the time, the location, and the amount of crews, and they had as many as 6 EMT units called out at one given time. 6, which is a significant amount of EMTs on the scene.
Well, anytime you have officers shot, and we've been through this so many times, anytime you have
Unfortunately,
officers shot, they flood that area with first responders, EMT, ambulance, fire department, to obviously corral the forces there. The two that have taken to the hospital, no word, any kind of condition or anything like that?
No, sir. We don't even know which hospital. It could have been one of the 2 hospitals, which are Trauma One, either BAMC or University Hospital.
Yeah.
Ronnie on the phone.
All right, Ronnie, what do you have? What do you have the latest for us?
Thank you, Danny.
So since we last talked, Barry and Audrey, we have seen the scene clear just a little bit to where we can see the officers and kind of where the action took place a little bit ago. That's what was being blocked. We are seeing investigators now come onto the scene. Now we're standing at the corner of the Denny's area, and I just spoke to some of the people inside, and they actually did not hear or see anything except some of the servers. They said caused some commotion, saying that there were a lot of police presence outside, but they didn't hear anything or see anything. So it really wasn't towards the Denny's area. It was more towards the Taco Cabana area. We, again, are expecting to hear from the police chief and from the San Antonio police officers here any minute now. We have seen, of course, the public information officers here on scene gathering information. They are here on scene trying to get that so they can inform us. So that's what I've learned.
Rania, if you could give us kind of we're looking at a static shot here, so we don't really know exactly the area around you. Give us an orientation of where exactly you are and where this hotel is.
So right off of Highway 90, a little ways down, you'll see the sign for Military Drive. That's past the Taco Cabana. So right off when you take this exit, you'll find a lot of hotels. There is Motel 6. You'll see a Denny's. You'll see this Ramada Travel Lodge. You'll see Taco Cabana, and that's when you'll hit Military Drive. And this is, again, right off of Highway 90. Across from where I am standing, we can see a La Quinta sign. So a lot of hotels in this area where we're standing right now.
Yeah, and it looks like we're seeing a text dot image that we're not showing, of course, to our viewers because it exposes a lot. But we are seeing that they do have the feeder road right there of Highway 90 in front of this very active scene blocked off to drivers. Are they still blocking off that feeder road to drivers?
That is what we were told, that feeder road will be blocked for the time being. Because we're media, we're allowed to come to as close as we could. Right here at the Denny's parking lot is where they have us staged, but this area is blocked to everyone else. And again, when I first arrived to the scene, there was a lot of activity happening in this area. There was a lot of ambulances, a lot of response to this particular area. Of course, that has since calmed down, but this area remains closed.
And Rania, I just want to make sure I pulled this up on a map so our viewers can get a better idea of where we are. You are just east of West Military. You're east of 410 on Old Highway 90. You're east of West Military, but west of Penn Road. You're in between West Military and Penn Road on the north side. I guess it would be, the northeast side of Highway 90.
That's correct. That's exactly correct, Barry. That's exactly where we are.
Okay. Kind of across Old Highway 90 from where the old, this may be before your time here, before the old Wilford Hall, the old military hospital off of Lackland there, Wilford Hall, correct?
Correct. That it is before my time, but that is the area that we are in.
All right, and Rania, give us some kind of sense of where this, looking at the shot that we're looking at from Matt's camera, give us a sense of where this shooting took place, if you can.
So this shooting, it seems, took place at the Ramada Taco Cabana area. We're seeing the public information officer right now giving some about to give us some information, so we'll get back with you here in just a little bit.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rania.
Thank you.
So we're hoping to get a little more information from Rania. She says SAPD's public information officer was approaching them. We do know Chief McManus is there at the scene. If you are driving in the area of the 6800 block of US Highway 90, that roadway is blocked right now, and they're not allowing drivers to ride on that feeder road. So definitely stay on Highway 90, and you're going to have to exit further down.
And to give you a better idea, once again, where exactly this is Old Highway 90 in the intersection of 410. We have Sarah Duran right here with us now too. And Sarah, they're just east, or actually I guess it would be
So it's going to be
south.
over on the city's west side.
Correct.
And what Audrey was saying, right on the marker.
Come over here closer
it might
so
be
you can-
best to stay along the highway there because the access road is currently blocked off for this police investigation. If you heard a little bit of interference on the mic, it's just because we were passing it over to me. But yeah, again, this is going to be over on the city's west side. The information that I'm getting on my traffic camera, guys, is that this is a very active scene. We see SAPD as well as SAFD. They're not only blocking the parking lot of that Motel 6, they're also blocking the access road heading westbound towards Military Drive. This has been active for about 45 minutes now, and our drivers will be impacted if that's part of their typical commute. Like Audrey said, take the highway to avoid that area.
Hey guys, joining us now is Crystal. She's inside a 7-Eleven near the scene.
Crystal, what can you tell us? What do you see?
Right now they just have the streets blocked off, the access road. I know an ambulance has already drove off along with about 2 officers escorting it.
And do you work in that area? Can you tell us what happened in the moments that everything unfolded? What you saw, at least?
I work at the 7-Eleven right at the corner, across from Taco Cabana.
And what
I
happened?
know, I didn't really hear the shot too good, but I had 2 customers run from the pump inside. When I asked them why they were running, they let me know that somebody was shooting. And then maybe about 10 minutes ago, one of the residents that lives on top of the building where the shooting is occurring, she was able to escape through the back of the building. But she said there was about 4 gentlemen outside a vehicle shooting at the officers as soon as they pulled up. So she had to just walk all the way around to get back home.
Wow. So this is a long stay hotel, and you, I guess, encounter a lot of the folks who live there, stay there, stop there.
Yes.
You say that, but the person that was living in the building saw all of this unfold? You spoke with them?
Well, she saw most of it, yes. She was going to actually come outside to come to the store. And that's when the officers surrounded the place. And she said that within a minute, she blinked, and then there was about 4 gentlemen shooting at the cops, and then the cops barricading it.
There were 4 people involved with this shooting at cops?
Yes, that's what the customer said.
Did she give you any idea how many officers were on the scene at that time?
No, but from what I witnessed, there was about 3 officers coming from different directions headed that way.
Is this usually a quiet area, or have you seen scenes like this unfold before?
I'm so sorry, what was that?
Is this usually a quiet area, or have you seen scenes like this unfold before?
Well, there's a vast majority of homeless people around here, so just random incidents occur all the time. But as far as a shooting, no, I haven't. This is the first time.
All right, Crystal, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you sharing your perspective and what you were able to see there.
And thank you so much. And we just learned from our reporter on the scene, Ronnie Accor, that the police public information officer with SAPD is moving our teams to that Taco Cabana that you saw across the way. And we learned that they told them that the officers are expected to be okay. The person who was shot was not an officer. That is what they told our Ronnie Accor, and she's joining us now.
All right, Rania, what do you have for us? You just got a little more information.
So the information that we've gotten is that we've completely changed locations now to the Taco Cabana. We were standing at the Denny's side of this hotel parking lot, and now we are on the Taco Cabana side. And from this vantage point, we're able to see the scene just a little bit more clearly. There are markers all on the floor of the parking lot. I saw the highest number I saw was 27. That's saying we're also seeing that the chief is also on scene. They are examining something behind a black tarp. What is behind the black tarp, we're not sure. Again, we did learn quite a little bit ago that there was somebody that was down here in the parking lot. One of our other photographers said that he saw somebody that was down. We did confirm from the media person that person that was down was not an officer, and that the officers are expected to be okay.
Ronnie,
That's what you're looking at now.
Did he give you any indication of was this a shootout? I mean, how many shots were fired? Anything like this?
We haven't gotten any sort of indication of a shootout or what could have really transpired here. Again, all we're really seeing that could indicate even the fact that there is a shooting is, of course, the markers on the parking lot. Of course, that we have seen police put in the past indicating the bullets that are fired or on the ground. So that's what we're seeing through the parking lot fence right now.
Yeah, it does look like a bunch of markers, which would indicate some sort of evidence there at that scene. And you said there was how many again, Rania?
I think the highest number I saw was 20-something. I think 27. I just was able to glance briefly while they moved us. And that was the number that was closest to me, I believe. So that's what I was able to see.
Well, and in most cases, as you know from being on these scenes anyway, when there's something like this, that's indicative of shell casings that are laying on the ground, spent shell casings that had been fired already, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to try to change my angle. You're going to see the angle that you guys are continuing to see. I'm going to change my angle to get a little bit of a better view from the other side of the parking lot, which again was giving me a little bit of a better vantage point of how many markers. So from here, I can see 19, 21, 20, 17. So we know that there's more than 20 evidence markers here on the scene at the moment.
And Rania, we were told by a woman who works in the area at a 7-Eleven in the area that this is a long stay hotel. There are some residents there who live there. Have you seen any of those residents coming out of the hotel talking to police?
We have not seen anybody really come out talking to police. We have seen some bystanders at the Denny's and, of course, here at the Taco Cabana. The 7-Eleven is right next to the Taco Cabana. From the Denny perspective, I, again, did speak to some of the people that worked and were dining inside, and they didn't hear anything or see anything until they saw all of the cops pull up to this area.
Now, the person the woman we spoke with a moment ago said she had thought there were four men talking with the officers. It's what a couple of her customers had said, or one of the customers had said there were 4 men talking with the officers, and that's when the shooting started. Did the PIO, did SAPD give you any indication of what went down?
San Antonio Police at this moment has not given us any more information, again, other than the fact that 2 officers, of course, were taken to the hospital, and that the person the potential body we did see here in the parking lot was not that of an officer. That saying, we are, again, waiting for a press conference here in just a little bit from San Antonio Police. Again, we know that Chief McManus is on scene, so we're expecting to hear from him about what they're examining. They, again, have something blocked off in the middle of the parking lot, kind of a high blocking situation, like a black tarp. It seems like it's hip length. So we're not really sure what they're examining. We are seeing investigators talking to people. And actually, at the moment, I do think I see a witness talking to a detective. He is jotting something down. So I guess there are people here.
The good news out of all this, you said that SAPD did say that those 2 officers are expected to be okay.
Yes, that is something that they did confirm to us, is that those officers were expected to be okay.
All right, Rania. Yeah, if you have an opportunity, if they, I'm sure they're going to be coming over and giving you more information momentarily. So, yeah, as soon as you hear something, give us a call back. Let us know the latest. We'll just continue to pass it on to our viewers. Here, thanks, Rania. Again, just to kind of recap, in case you're just now joining us, what you're looking at on the scene there. This is Old Highway 90, just south of West Military on the east side of the road, before Penn Road. There's a shooting involving at least 2 San Antonio police officers were hit. We do have 1 deceased person is not a police officer, 1 person at the scene there, and we have no idea really what what all
transpired.
unfolded here.
Yeah, how this call first came in, whether police spotted someone or it came in as a call, we're still trying to figure that out. The good news that has come out of this that SAPD did confirm to us is that those 2 officers who we believe were injured are going to be okay, and they did confirm that to us. But there is 1 person deceased at the scene. We're working to find out who that person is as well.
And it's an old Ramada Inn Travelodge turned into a long-term stay facility. We spoke with a woman who works at a 7-Eleven, which is just on the other side of the Taco Cabana. So it's 7-Eleven, Taco Cabana, and then this hotel, long-term facility. And she had said a customer came in, a couple of customers were getting gas, they heard the gunshots, they ran inside, and then a woman who lives in that hotel that you're looking at on the screen right now beyond the police cars slipped out the back, was able to come in. She said she saw 4 men talking with police officers, and then that, for whatever reason, at some point, that's when the gunfire erupted. There was an apparent shootout of some sort because of Rania said she saw at least 20, 21 evidence markers in the parking lot there, which would indicate, the police carry semi-automatic weapons. We'd have no idea what the other people had. But when those shells are jacked out, when they fire, it'll throw those shell casings 8, 10, 12 feet.
Yeah.
And they appear to be scattered across that parking lot.
She said over 20 in that parking lot, and also in that parking lot, which you can kind of see on the right middle corner of your screen, is some black tarp of some sort. Police are covering some area. We were told by our photographer, one of our other photographers on the scene, that they did see a person down in the parking lot. So we're still waiting to get more information from SAPD about what transpired here. But that woman at 7-Eleven who spoke to that person who lived inside that Ramada, she was on the 2nd floor, so she had a very good vantage point of what transpired. And she said 4 people with officers, and that's when she heard the gunfire. She had to run down and out the back of the property to get away, and that's when she ran into that convenience store for shelter.
All of this started, the call came into SAPD at 8:34 this morning, and here we are a little over an hour and 5 minutes later. And obviously there's Chief William McManus, and now he's talking with another officer, we assume with the Public Information Office. Possibly we could be getting some more information here shortly.
I just got word from the news desk. The chief is going to speak with us in 9 minutes.
All right, there we go. 9 minutes, Chief William McManus will give us a little more information. We want to stress, too, that all of this, Audrey, is always preliminary information. You and I both have been on scenes like this countless times, so we know things may change as that information comes out.
Absolutely. I think the chief got there maybe 10 minutes ago, so he was being briefed. He was looking at the scene, and like you said, about 9 minutes we should be hearing from the chief. Also want to let you know that you should stay away from this area. They have the feeder that runs along U.S. Highway 90. They're in the 6800 block, blocked off. And we could see from a TxDOT camera that there were over 15 police units still covering that entire property. And that's from the Taco Cabana to the Ramada Hotel, and then next door at the Denny's. They have that whole area blocked off. So if you need to exit there, you definitely want to just keep going on Highway 90. Don't get off in the 6800 block of Highway 90.
And looking at a map, Highway 90 at that point kind of runs pretty well north and south at that point. This appears to be on the east feeder road of Highway 90 between West Military and Penn Road. So if you have business in that area, you need to try to find an alternate route to get into that area, this 6800 block of US 90, just off of 410.
And we have Danny Martinez with our assignments desk. He's been covering this since it first happened. We want to hear what you have to say. What do you got?
Well, first and foremost, what I was able to get confirmed is Officers have been transported to local hospitals. At the moment, we don't know which location, but however, this incident where the shooting took place is not too far from a Trauma One hospital center, being BAMC.
Right.
I reached out to the spokesperson at BAMC, and they are looking to get more details to confirm with us, with KENS 5, the information that they can convey, of course, without the violation of HIPAA law. But they're also having to reach out to SAPD to get confirmation with officers involved. Now, all this actually began this morning when I came in. I started my day at about 7 a.m. and about 8:26, 8:20ish is when we first heard the scanners drop with a shooting possibly involving officers. That's when things began it became a little bit more stressful because we were having to relocate and move crews over to this location, and we were able to move multiple crews out there, which they are there in position right now.
And this is always stressful, especially when it's an officer-involved shooting and you learn that officers are injured in all this, and 2 officers were injured, transported. But we learned from Ronnie on the scene that the PIO did say they expect those 2 officers to be okay. They should recover. But as far as the extent of their injuries, where they were hit or injured, we don't have any of that information. We're waiting to hear that from SAPD.
And within that information, Sherry, with that, Chief McManus will be speaking to media at about 9:50 this morning to give details about what transpired out there.
Well, we just saw the Public Information Office. They were miking up the chief right there. We had him on camera there, and he's walking out of the picture there. We can only assume coming over, getting ready to do that press briefing, and he'll give us some more information. I want to stress too, the chief right now is getting preliminary. As you see him walking across the screen now, they're getting ready to do that. All of this is preliminary information. We've seen time and time and again when we get this information. Now
Yes.
it changes as things develop. So we're turning that camera. Matt, now Chief just walked from the right of the screen to your left. So we can only imagine now that they're getting together, going over the facts, giving it to the chief so he can address us and give us what they know at this point.
We did see ATF walking on the scene. We don't know if they're involved in this investigation or if they're just there for support, because
Right.
it is a fellow officer, 2 fellow officers who were injured in this whole
Thank you, Danny.
situation.
Yeah, and that's not untypically though. Here we go. Let's go ahead and listen to what Chief McManus has to say.
Ready? You ready?
Jack,
So
can we get some audio
we
so we
had
can
911
hear
call.
Chief?
I don't know much about that call yet. From a female. The call disconnected. Understood where the address was. So there were 2 officers. Actually, an officer and a cadet sitting in the parking lot here before the call came out. The individual that was being called on was taunting them from the other side of the fence. They ignored him, and at that moment, the 911 call came out, and the officer pulled up on that end. Before all this happened, he started walking away and walking in the back of the building, walking back around, and he came out, and he told the officers, "I'm not going back to prison. I'm not going back to jail." And at that point, he started running, and as he was running, he started pulling at his waistband, pulled out a pistol, and the officers and the suspect exchanged gunfire. The suspect is down in the parking lot. 2 officers are at the hospital. Both were hit in the arm. One of the officers was hit in another location, but they're both going to be okay, notwithstanding the injuries that they have now. So that's what we have right now.
Was the person
All preliminary information.
was the person who was doing the taunting outside the hotel, was that part of the 911, related at all to that 911?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So maybe part of a domestic or disturbance call?
Could be. I don't know. That's what I thought when I heard it, but I don't know at this point.
What was he doing or saying?
He was gesturing to them, and they were ignoring him.
Why was the officer sitting in the parking lot already?
I don't know.
Okay. What was the suspect's criminal history?
I don't know that yet either.
So as far as the shooting goes, those were from the 2 officers that were sitting in the car, but how many gunshots were fired?
Three officers shot. 2 of them were hit. The cadet was not hit. The average time on for all the officers who shot is about 5 to 6 years. But we were very, very lucky. As this officer was, as the suspect was pulling out that gun shooting, and one of the officers jumped on him.
And as far as the person, the female who called, the person who called,
We have not investigated that yet. We do not know much about that at this point, other than it was a female calling, she was whispering, and beyond that, we don't know.
do you think it was somebody who was really in need, or do you think it was somebody trying to lure police here?
I don't know. I really don't know yet. We don't know yet.
Have you been able to locate her?
No, not
Were
yet.
they staying at the hotel?
Pardon?
Were they staying at the hotel, both of them?
Not 100% sure. Believe so, but not 100% sure.
Can you go
One more
back to the part
question.
where you said that the officer jumped on the suspect?
Yes.
Physically jumped on him?
Yes.
Can you talk more about that?
Other than him jumping on him, no.
What prompted? What was that about?
He was pulling a gun out.
Just to stop
The shooting started, and
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Can you explain the 3 officers shot at again?
pardon?
It's a little confusing. So 3 officers were shot at, but only 2 were hit.
3 officers shot. 2 of the officers were hit.
What do you mean by shot versus hit? Could you clarify?
Pardon?
Could you clarify shot versus hit?
2 of the officers fired at the suspect. 3 of the officers fired at the suspect. 2 of those officers were shot. Okay?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did all the officers shoot? Did they all discharge their weapon? The 3 officers?
Yes.
3 officers shot.
Yes.
Okay, so
Oops.
he's got a criminal history, right? He's going to go back to jail again. He's saying that, right? He's got to have some history.
Any length of service on those officers who were shot?
He said between 5 and 6 years.
I don't know. I suspect so.
I'm the taco people.
We'll put on information later.
Okay, so we want to just recap what we just heard from Police Chief William McManus, who just gave a press briefing. We learned that this morning that call first came into police as a female whispering over the phone. At least that's what we kind of heard. And those officers were there at the scene, and they said a person was there, and they kind of were taunting them. The suspect was kind of taunting them.
Outside the fence.
Outside the
first.
fence. And so they didn't approach at first, but that's when that 911 call came in, and they could hear a female whispering over the phone. And that's when police say that suspect told the officers, I'm not going back to prison, I'm not going to jail. That's when they saw him pulling something out of his waistband.
Well, he had I believe I heard him say he had walked around the back and then came in, and then that's when they confronted him, and he began telling them, I'm not going back to prison. I'm not. And he took off running. As he was running, he pulled out a pistol out of his waistband, began firing at the officers. 3 San Antonio police officers returned fire, which understandably now you can count all the markers there on the ground. When you have 4 people firing pistols and they're jacking shells at, that's what all the markings are. 2 of our officers were hit. The chief said one of them was hit in the arm. He said the other one was hit in another area. He didn't specify, but both of our officers are hit. 3 of our officers returned fire. 2 of our officers were hit, but both are expected to be okay. The man who shot at the officers is dead in the parking lot there.
Yeah, so definitely a very active scene that we've just learned about. Those 2 officers who were hit are expected to be okay. The chief did say 2 of those officers, both were hit in the arm, but one of the other officers was also hit in another location. We don't know where they were transported to, but the good news is that they're going to be okay. The chief did say that one person is dead there at the scene, the suspect.
Well, and we can only assume this too now that they put this tarp up now that individual is on the other side of that tarp. And again, this is on Old Highway 90. This began to unfold at about 8:34 this morning in a what is an apparent long-term stay hotel, Ramada Inn Travelodge, right there on Old Highway 90, south of 410, south of West Military Drive, but north of Penn Road, in the 6800 block of Old Highway 90.
Yeah.
So, and again, all of this information is preliminary. As this investigation goes on, they're going to get more information, obviously, from those officers involved as well.
And so, yeah, it's still a very active scene. I'm sure they're talking to people who were staying there at the scene. We heard from one woman that she talked to a witness who said she saw it all unfolding. And she also, I'm assuming police are going to try and find that woman who called 911 and was whispering over the phone, try to get to the bottom of how this all started and how that individual was outside and started taunting officers.
Yeah, and what we'd like to do, we'd like to get, I'm going to try to call Rania here real quick and see if perhaps we can't maybe get Rania back on the phone with us.
She was able to hear clearly from the chief and ask him a few questions. But again, officers confronted a suspect who was taunting them there in the parking lot of that Ramada Inn there in the 6800 block of US Highway 90. And that's when they say that
Hey, Ronnie, I wanna put you on
suspect
air.
turned
Can
around
you
and
recap
said,
everything
I don't want to
for
go
us?
back to jail, I don't want to go back to prison. And then from there, they say that that suspect took off running, turned and shot at those officers. Chief McManus did say 3 officers fired their weapon. 2 of them were hit.
Has he
Both
walked away?
of the 2 officers who were hit were hit in the arm,
I'm gonna
and
put
then
you on speaker real
another
quick. Just
one
give
was
us a
hit
wrap, okay,
in
what you
another part of their body. But right now, we want to bring in Rania Kaur, who was there at the scene and got a press briefing from the chief. Rania, go over those details again for our viewers.
So, Chief said that it started with a 911 phone call to this area that quickly disconnected. They don't know what that 911 call was about, nor have they traced it. But there was already police officers parked right by the fence here at the hotel parking lot. And suddenly a man was taunting them through the fence, making gestures at them. The officers ended up whipping around to where that person was. And that's when that suspect screamed out, "You can't put me in jail again." Chief says and then that individual eventually pulled out a pistol. We understand 3 officers fired shots at that suspect, and only 2 officers were hit. We do know that there's somebody deceased on the scene, and I'm still trying to confirm a couple little bits of information. But that's sort of the gist of what has happened this morning.
And the chief did say that the 2 officers who were hit in the arm, and then one of them was hit additionally in another part of their body, but he couldn't tell us where, correct?
Yes, we do know that one of the officers, that they were hit in the arm, or one of the officers was hit in the arm and the other was hit somewhere else, and he couldn't give us that detail.
And
That's
Ron,
exactly
as you're on the scene there, I mean, did the chief, do they have any idea? It looks like an awful lot of shots were fired. If all those yellow evidence markers are shell casings, can you see shell casings on the ground?
I wasn't able to see shell casings clearly, and the chief wasn't able to give us an exact number of how many shots were fired. Now, the chief did say that this is a lot of preliminary information. Before the press conference even started, he said that he didn't have a lot of information right now, but he did want to give us an update of what they did, the information that they did have.
Did he say when SAPD will be giving their next press briefing?
So at this point, we are not expecting another press briefing from the San Antonio Police Department, but the San Antonio Police Department did confirm they will be providing updates to us throughout the day.
Okay, Rania, thank you. I know you want to get some more information there on the scene. Thanks for joining us, and If we run into any more questions, I may just give you a call back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rania. So that's pretty much what we know at this point. Again, this all started to unfold 8:34 this morning with a phone call. Anytime anyone calls, 911 and they hang up or anything, first thing dispatchers do is they call back. And in most times, there's an officer sent to that immediate area to try to, just to make sure that whoever made that phone call is there safe. It appears as though they sent officers to the scene. They were parked outside of this fence, is what I gather from the chief.
I think what Rania said, though, is that they were already on scene, just in the general area.
Correct. They were in, I took that to mean they were in the scene because of that call. When this gentleman came out and started taunting them, and who all knows what all he was saying, I thought she had said that's when they whipped around the fence to the other side, got out, and started to address this man. And that's when he had said, you're not taking me back to prison. I can't go back to prison. He took off running, pulled a gun, started shooting at police, and our 3 officers returned fire.
Yes, our 3 officers returned fire. 2 of them were hit in their arm. One of those officers, I believe from the chief, we're going to need to get clarification, this is preliminary, but was hit in another part of his body. But the good news, those officers are expected to be okay. They were transported quickly. And then you saw that heavy police presence come. Now, the chief did say 1 person was deceased at the scene.
Correct.
We can assume that that is the person that was taunting them. That we've been seeing that black drape tarp there.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's behind that, but we do know 1 person is deceased at the scene.
And really, that's just about all the information we have at this point. Again, that is a live picture you're looking at from an officer-involved shooting from this morning, about 8:30, a little after 8:30 this morning.
Yeah, that's there at the Ramada Hotel there in the 6800 block of Highway 90. They still have that area blocked off, so don't try to take that feeder road that's there on Military Drive. You're going to come right up to Military Drive. You probably should go past Military Drive. Don't try and get on that feeder road.
Yeah, if you're coming from 410, 410 toward Military, you'll be okay.
Heading towards 410, that's where the problem's going to be.
Correct, on the east side.
No, on the westbound side. This is impacting the
I'm
westbound
sorry, westbound,
direction.
correct, yeah.
So if you're
Eastbound,
coming
you're
from
fine.
410 eastbound, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, this Sarah Duran, so tell us again which areas of roads are good to go and which ones are blocked off at this time.
Yeah, I'm just going to repeat some of the information that y'all probably have already said, but for our viewers just joining us here on KENS 5 Plus, this is happening on the west side of town along Highway 90. This is going to be in the westbound direction. We're seeing minor impacts to the highway at this time, but it's really the access road that I want to focus on. We have some, look, you can see here, this is a live picture of our map. You can see it's reflecting now that road closure along the access road westbound between Penn and West Military Drive. I also got some information from TxDOT not too long ago that the exit ramp to West Military Drive, I should say, from Highway 90 is now blocked off for this shooting investigation. So again, this is on the west side of the city. This is heading towards 410. Like Barry and I were just talking about a second ago, if you're coming from 410 eastbound, you won't have a problem on the highway or the access road. This is really impacting the westbound side. Oh, you can see our map just updated again. It looks like the roadway may be open, but either way, guys, if you're driving through this area, just proceed with caution. If you can find an alternate route, I highly recommend you do so because this is going to last for several hours. We have a serious situation on our hands. So again, we're just taking a live look at our map now at 10:01 as this investigation is unfolding. At the last time I looked at the cameras, we saw numerous SAPD officers at the scene, San Antonio firefighters at the scene, which is pretty typical when these things go down. For our listeners or for our viewers just joining us again, this is in the 6800 block of US Highway 90, impacts to the access road, not so much the highway.
But now what you're looking at the map, you're saying that road is back open now?
So it's reflecting here on our map. I usually like to verify across multiple platforms. I'm not by my computer to do so at the moment, but based off what our map is showing, it is back green. But again, remember that this is reflecting both the highway and the street. So yeah, now it's going back
Yeah,
and
the-
forth. So it might
yeah,
be
the
conflicting.
access. Yeah, the access road, it says up there, is closed.
Yeah.
At Highway 90 West. So don't go in that area.
Yeah.
If you need to get around that area, get off Penn Road and make your way around to the 410 access
Yeah,
road to
it
get
might
to
be
where you want to
reflecting
go.
that exit ramp that is blocked
Right.
off to the frontage road. So that's what our map may be picking up. But again, the access road definitely blocked off for this investigation, but it looks like we could be potentially seeing impacts to the highway there. Again, this is a few miles before Loop 410 on the west side.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Sarah. So, like you heard, you still should avoid that area that's in the 6800 block of US Highway 90. But to go over some of those details again, we just got an update from Police Chief William McManus. This all unfolded around 8:34 this morning at that Ramada Inn Hotel in that area. Police say that officers were already in that area when they received a 911 call and they heard a woman whispering and then she hung up. And that's when police say a man came out on the other side of the fence, started taunting them, making gestures, and that's when they went around to kind of talk to that individual. When that individual saw those officers there, that's when he turned around, took off running. They saw a weapon and
told me that they couldn't take him back to prison. You're not going to take me back to prison. That's when the chief was saying that he reached into his waist, pulled out a pistol, and that's when we had three officers fired their weapons. Two of our officers were hit. The third one obviously was not, but the guy who pulled his pistol is laying in the parking lot.
Yeah, and our two officers were transported to area hospitals. They both were shot in their arm. We believe one of them was also shot in another area of their body, but working to confirm those details. But the good news is that both of those officers are expected to recover.
Yeah, Chief said they're going to be okay. And we will, of course, and all of this information, I want to stress this again, all of this information is preliminary information we're getting, and the chief said again, the information he's getting is preliminary. It's going to take him a while to iron out everything that did go on. We'll bring you obviously the latest information coming up today at KENS 5 at noon and on our streaming platform as well.
Yeah, our crew at the scene said we don't expect to hear from Police Chief William McManus any further today. That could change, but they are going to update us, so you can always catch those updates right here on KENS 5 Plus, KENS5.com, and of course coming up at noon.
Yeah, so just keep it here. We'll bring you the latest on this as it continues to unfold.